So I'm going to introduce, speaking of auctions, I'm going to introduce someone who could quite reasonably claim to be the foremost auction expert in the world. Peter Cramton has participated in the auction war rooms in 27 of the 66 auctions held in the United States, including the very first one where he advised the then young and sprightly chair of the FCC, me. And Peter's going to talk to you a little bit about auctions. Please forgive me for not being able to resist making the following postscript based on the alleged draft order. In addition to everything else, from what I've been told, the way the rule would work with respect to the no lock and no block is that the company that owns the spectrum under this rule doesn't actually have to sell any service. Doesn't actually have to sell any service. All they have to do is shoot a little electricity every now and then to prove that they exist, but there's no requirement that they market a service that is subject to these rules. They couldn't have written this. Ask some questions. This is too awful to be true. But Peter, let me turn right to you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Reed. So we're all taxpayers, or at least most of us are taxpayers, I believe. So and you might be concerned about revenue, despite what the law says, and I completely agree with the way the law is written, and it should be written. That the focus should not be on auction revenues. But quite frankly, the incumbents have been blowing a lot of smoke about the revenue issue because all the evidence from the history of all the auctions, all the auction theory, all the economic principles point to the fact that the E-block plan is pro-competitive and would raise auction revenues as a result of open access, the wholesale provisions, and the bidding credits for new entrants. The reason why is that these provisions motivate new entry, which will enhance competition in the auction and thereby raise revenues. These pro-competitive steps can increase revenues and social welfare in dramatic ways, and the argument is actually quite simple. The incumbents have profits to protect, and entrants realize this, so rationally the potential entrants stay away from the auction because the high cost of participating outweigh the low odds that they will win. Thus, the incumbents win in two ways. They protect their profits, and they get the new licenses for scarce spectrum at low prices. So let's just think about this reasoning, and it really has been, this is one area where I would appreciate some sanity in the public press with respect to revenues, because it's an argument that just has not been made at all. Verizon and AT&T right now enjoy economic rents from the duopoly they have in low-frequency cellular spectrum that, for technology reason, enables them to have the best coverage, and as a result, they have higher revenue per user and the lowest churn. To preserve these rents, they have a very strong interest in foreclosing entry. The value for them of the spectrum in the auction consists of two components. It's the incremental value of the additional spectrum that enables them to provide incrementally more services. But most importantly, it's the duopoly rents that they would lose in the event of entry. Verizon and AT&T, therefore, have a very strong incentive to outbid rivals to maintain these duopoly rents. Therefore, new entrants reason that they will lose even if they have a much higher economic value for the spectrum than Verizon or AT&T. Therefore, the entrants will not participate in the auction. Therefore, Verizon and AT&T will successfully foreclose entry and pay a low price, winning two ways and making consumers and taxpayers lose in two ways. Why else would Verizon and AT&T mount such a campaign to make sure that 10 megahertz out of the 60 megahertz being auctioned does not have particular provisions that they would not like? Wouldn't Verizon and AT&T, if they were just interested in additional spectrum, be happy with winning 50 out of the 60 megahertz that is up for auction? Think about it. Thank you.